Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Boom, and welcome to the Big Honker Podcast, brought to you by Bangtail Whiskey. I'm Jeff Stanfield with the world-famous Andy Shaver.
That is right. And on the line with us today, your back is probably sore after carrying Trevor Shanahan in the two-man, Mr. Cory Niccum. I've heard that you were the guy that taught little ducks how to quack. Is that accurate?
That's probably false, but a lot of people accuse me of doing it, so
Now,
I'll take it, I guess.
You have recently won the two-man with Shanahan, and then you won the live meet at the Dive Bomb Squadfest and now all of a sudden you said the world's blowing up.
Yeah.
Everybody is coming at you.
I mean, there's a lot of
Is that normal with most of these high profile calling contests?
I mean, to an extent, there's some people that have good points and some people that don't. When it comes to judging a contest, like we discussed earlier, it's their opinions, but we're getting to the stage now that contest calling, unfortunately, is on a decline, and try to find judges that are qualified to get them to come with, the fucking gas being through the roof and taking their time, their own time on a weekend away from their families is hard nowadays. So, I mean, yeah, we had a list of judges that was given to us, and we had to fill in some gaps. A couple of guys couldn't make it, family issues, just prices of everything so expensive. And so, yeah, I mean, I would rather have a qualified judge than have some fucking guy making hearing aids. Like, it's just, I mean, no one's going to be happy. I mean, it is what it is. No one will be happy.
I mean, like you
it.
said, like the conditions on Saturday, like you judged the open goose. Like, it was fucking hot back where you were. There's no air.
I mean, you get guys that, took their time away from their own booths to try to make money selling their product, to sit back there in that fucking sweat box judging, 13 or 15 of the best used cars in the country out of their own time. So, I mean, you can't get mad at the people that are nominating themselves to help when we don't have anyone else there.
If it makes you feel any better, I was told you won by a whole bunch anyways.
Yeah, I mean, it was...
Yeah, I was told it wasn't even close.
Points.
So, they could pull some fat ass like me off the street and judge it. I've been in the hunting business as long as anybody there, but I don't know shit about a calling contest.
And that's, like, people have to understand, this Dive Bomb Squadfest is not because of a contest. It's for the vendors. It's for the companies that use their product in back and forth. Like you guys. You come up here to hang out with the companies that sponsor you. The contest is nice enough to let us come and compete, and they donate a lot of fucking money for us to come up and compete. Well, when Kyle and Forrest left Dive Bomb, they had list already pretty much written down. And so Asher approached me and a few others from the ICA to help with this contest. And since I won and since my name was part of finding judges, it's just been a debacle for the last 24 hours. Because
I don't know nothing about calling contests. I don't know shit about it. Nothing. Don't even pretend to be. And I did win a $5,000 check myself, but yeah.
I was going to say you got
with my name on it.
Won with a goose call, no less.
No, it was a duck call.
You did get a duck call?
Yeah, it was a duck call. It was a Stelzner's, one of his CNS calls that he had over there. But I don't I don't pretend to know anything about contest. I wouldn't want to judge a calling contest at all. But there's only a select group of guys that are qualified to do it anyways in our whole country. I'm going to say probably 100 people at the max. Out of them, all of you guys that call in contests, y'all been calling against each other for years. Same guys over and over and over again.
Forever.
And so there's no way to cheat. It's behind a board. It's the best guy's going to win. Now, there are times that a first, a second, and a third may be pretty damn close. But from what I was told from people that do understand and know, say that it wasn't even close on how much you won the duck calling contest by.
I mean, yeah, it was a lot. It was 11 points that I beat Trevor by, or 8. I beat Trevor by 8, and he took second. But the top 5 was the best callers in the country. Like, that top 5 should be those top 5, whether I win or Seth Fields wins or Trevor Shanahan wins or Mike Benjamin or whoever. That top 5 that was on that stage is the same top 5 every contest.
Same ones will be at the next contest and the next one. I mean, until someone else comes and breaks through, that's going to be what it's going to be like.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It was a fun ass time.
Now, are you going to do you have any other calling contests on the board? Because you're going up to Canada end of the month next month, right?
Yeah, I'll leave on the 26th of August. So I have 2 more from now till then, and then Easton in November, and that'll be it.
The one in
so I got 3 total.
When do they have that?
That's Thanksgiving weekend. That's the world. That's totally different style of contest calling. I used to do that for a lot of years. My brother won that one in 2007. He won the fucking Super Bowl of duck calling, and he was like the second youngest to ever win it. I think it was like 17 years old.
The guys that'll be on that stage in St. Louis, the 5 guys that were there at the end, if those 5 guys were the finalist 5 guys in Stuttgart, would you be surprised? That's what I'm saying.
Absolutely not.
But
no, all those guys, that's the best duck callers in the country for us on stage, with the exception of some that weren't there this weekend. But I mean, us 5, one of us 5, I feel any contest we go to should win, whether it's me or the other 4. Hands down, without a fucking doubt. I don't care who you are. I don't care who's judging. One of us 5 should win.
Now you said Stuttgart's a little bit different, so it's the open, right? Where the one in Easton is meat.
Yep.
And then
100%.
So you're more of a meat caller, because what I've heard is you're the winningest meat caller.
Yeah.
That's out there.
I mean, the Main Street shit I did for a while, but I was not good. Like, I would win to get qualified for Worlds, but when the meat circuit started taking off, I pretty much put the Main Street to the side, got some help with guys by the name of like Trey Crawford, my best friend, one of my good buddies, Brett Crow, who makes the duck calls that I use. I just switched over to that, and
why didn't you translate as well to the open style? The main is Main Street, right?
Yeah, Main Street is more structured, like me calling structured as well, don't get me wrong, but you can have your own style. Main Street, it's you either have a rich and tone style or an echo style, in my opinion. But yeah, once meats took off, there was more to, you can compete in more of them. You won one Main Street contest, you were done for the year. You couldn't blow in any more Main Street regionals or sanctions and shit like that. So meat calling, they were popping up like fucking ticks in the woods. And so, I mean, you could go to 13 a year. And there'd be years where I would go to 14 or 16 of them and win all 15 or 16 or whatever. I first
and I don't want to take it from last year. The guy who won last year. Anyway, I was talking to Trevor about him, and he kind of came from nowhere and surprised a lot of people.
He came here and won the novice duck and won the open line. Right. He took home
$6 grand this year.
Did he? Did he make the? Yep. He got cut the first round.
First round.
Did his call stick or what?
Round. Yeah, he fucked up. Like
so it was just a bad day for him. So,
yeah, when he got done that first round, and I mean, you win a contest like that big, and you come back, whether you are known or not known, you're gonna have a bullseye on your back, like, and I feel like he knew it, but he walked back to the bullpen, and I could tell he was pissed. I didn't talk to him. I let it sit down for about 15, 20 minutes, and I walked over to him, and I said, "Hey, man," I said, "let this one go. If you want some help, I'll help you. This is what I think you should do, and just move forward." Everyone fucks up.
There's
I mean, it's just
only
part
one.
of it.
Only one guy leaves there happy.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, you can leave fairly happy, but only one guy thinks that he did everything right, and obviously that was you this weekend. But is that the most? And I'm sure with the amount of calling contests that you've done, is that the most defeated feeling whenever you feel like you're in a good spot or you're trying to repeat, and then all of a sudden you're just pushing too hard, and then that fucking call just sticks?
Yep, 100%. I mean, it's the worst feeling in the world. And I mean, the nerves, and to go up there and try to blow clean for 90 seconds and get off stage and do it again next 2 rounds. And then you fuck up like that, especially, which I know Tyler, I mean, he probably practices his ass off. And for that to happen, it's a kick in the dick. I mean, it's the worst fucking feeling there is for, a contest.
I wonder
calling.
what round it would feel like if you blow 2 clean routines and then you're in that 3rd round and stick it, or if it's the first. That's the worst.
Final round. The final, fuck yeah, 100%. Especially if they're paying top 5, and you mess up, and you were either first or second, just your gut, and then you just plummet down to 5th, and you take a fucking Yeti cup or a gift card to Petco home.
Gift card to Petco.
I mean, you go from $1,000 to 5th for nothing. So I mean, yeah, that I would much rather. Like, the worst feeling would be fucking up 3rd round, like hands down.
Petco gift card.
Gift card to Petco.
What's the worst thing you've ever won in a calling contest?
Yep. A frying pan.
Who the fuck comes up with some shit like that?
No bullshit. I don't remember what it goes like a cooking thing, a cooking set or whatever. A bunch of fucking pots and pans. Hell, the year my brother won the Worlds in 2007, he got more deer hunting shit than he got duck hunting shit. We were taking home like 50-pound bags of fucking deer corn. He had like a buck set knife of like gutting for deer and like a print of deer. We don't fucking hunt those yard goats. We don't mess with deer. And I'm like, I saw all this shit in my dad's truck, and I was like, what the fuck are we going to do? And all my buddies, they deer hunt, so we brought it home and gave
yard
it to them.
goat.
Put that shit on eBay and
Yard
see what I can't get for it.
Sell that cool.
Yard goat.
What's the how much does the World pay out? Is that $10,000?
So I think it went up in price. Yeah, the year my brother won, it's like 8. It was $8,000. You got a boat, but you got a boat with no motor or trailer. So you just got the boat.
Whoa, hold on. Someone gives a fucking boat away with no trailer
or motor.
Oh yeah, that's how it was back then. I think it's like 8 for the World Duck with a gun and like Black Eagle 3, and then you get a ring, and you get the giant wooden trophy. The ring and the trophy are the money doesn't suck. Don't get me wrong, but the year my brother got it, I mean, he got the ring, and it looks like fucking Tom Brady's hand. I mean, it's just giant ruby red, gold. Steiny looks the same, the one that he got. And then the giant wooden carved.
Now, I'm going to go back to this boat and the trailer deal. If you're giving away a fucking boat, you got to get a trailer. I can understand the motor, but there's your fucking boat out there in the parking lot. You got to figure out how you're going to get it on a trailer, and then you got to take it home with you.
You basically got a plastic hole.
My brother sold the boat.
That's what I would have done.
And we
too.
never even saw it. It was in Tennessee or some fucking place. Our buddy bought it. And he went out there and he took a trailer and hauled it back.
And then you got this big ring like Tom Brady, a Super Bowl ring. Where does he wear the ring at? I mean, is it like something you wear to duck camp?
Oh, he just wears around me at a contest when we go to a show.
I have never seen one.
No, he don't. No, he don't wear that thing to work. No, when we go to shows or because my brother doesn't contest call anymore. He went to Dive Bomb last year, and him and I won the 2-man. But when he goes to big shows, or like if he goes to Worlds and hangs out, he'll put it on and just to remind people, like, hey, I won one of these
I need
a
to
long
get me a
time
fake
ago.
one of them made to wear to these kind of deals. Be like, yeah, over here, buddy.
So let me ask you this: there was, no rules were broken whenever you and Shanahan entered into the 2-man, right?
Nope. Asher told me, because I was originally supposed to judge it, and Trevor and I talked Thursday night, and I told him if we find the judge to judge it, I will blow in it. And Asher straight up came over to me and goes, hey, he goes, in these big ones, the 2-man and the open duck and open goose, he didn't want guys like me or Mike sitting back there judging. He wanted us to compete just to have the name and, to get out there and stuff like that for the contest, promoting it and everything else. Like, he was like, dude, I don't want you guys back there judging. And so, like, Teddy Hoover, myself, and Mike Benjamin, who organized this contest, as far as the judges and what they were going to judge and everything else, the three of us blew. Teddy and Mike blew in the goose. Me and Mike blew in the duck and the 2-man. And that's, Asher was like, I want you guys to blow in them.
It doesn't do the UFC any good to have Conor McGregor judging a fight. Like, you need him. You need your big top dogs on the stage for people to see. Like, you don't want the best in the world. Well, they're here, but they're behind the curtain and nobody's going to see them.
Yeah, you look like you just went through. Look like you'd been running through fucking Haiti when you come to after you'd won that.
I'm overweight. My blood pressure gets through the roof, and I fucking sweat like a whore in church, man. I die.
So even after all these years, you still get nervous. Your blood pressure still spikes up, and really,
every time I get up there. Yeah, I mean it's weird, but I still love it. I mean, I love how I feel when I get up there, but yeah, there'll be times where I'll be fucking like dry heaving on the side of the tent, nerves, my stomach, fucking palms are just soaked in sweat.
Yeah.
Like Eminem on 8 Mile. Like,
that's exactly what I was thinking of when you were talking about that too.
But how do you? I mean, duck calling is one of those things. I think more than goose calling, like your breath and where it comes from. It's all core. Whereas like you can kind of get a little bit lazy if you get tired on a goose call. You can take a little bit off, but the way you have to call it ducks, it's all your gut.
Yep. And especially like how how your routine is, my routine, there's nothing special about it, in my opinion. I mean, there's a lot of guys that have a lot of cool ass routines, but like for me, it's just power and aggressiveness. And so I try to run a lot of shit all in one breath instead of having like choppiness and pauses and all that. And so I just keep it simple, but it's loud as fuck and it's very, very aggressive. And so as soon as I hit my first note, all the nerves just go away. And then I just do the same shit I do every round and just
now Lee said that you would black out on stage.
Oh yeah, because it'll be to the point where sometimes like fucking I'll just have nothing but stars. Like I try not to look at people when I'm when I'm calling. I do my same thing every time. I do this fucking arch thing on the stage and I take a 14-second pause. And then literally at times I'll just be blowing and then nothing. It's just fucking just stars in front of my face.
Field of vision is closing in.
It's all just tightened in and it's nothing but stars.
Shit. You said you take a 14-second pause?
So like the contest, like you get your warm up and shit. I do the same warm up every time. And I do some shit in my warm-up that I don't do in my routine. And when I nod and say this is for real, like, I'll talk to myself in my fucking head, or I'll look at my duck call and be like, all right, just give me fucking one more. I just need one more. And then I'll just take 2 or 3 big breaths, and I'll look at the duck call, and I'll just say, all right, I'm ready now. And then I go. Like, you're not given a fucking time length on, your warm-up. They don't say, like, you only get 7 seconds of your warm-up. Right. You did everything you want. I mean, Shanahan one year went through like 3 calls in his warm-up because he fucked one up, one read scratched or whatever, I don't know, split, and then he had to get another call from the guy running the bullpen. His warm-up was like 3 minutes long.
As long as you don't say this is for score, anything kind of goes.
Talk. You don't have to, you can do whatever the fuck you want. If you talk on stage, you're done. But you could take however long you want in your warm up. Make it your own time. Show the judges
now
who you
how
are.
much
Let them know.
now the warm up that can kind of like set the tone. So like you said, you can kind of do some more shit that's not going to be in your routine.
Oh, I do 100. I do one thing every warm up, and I've been doing it forever. And people call it the tree frog. I do just whining ass note in my feed, and I do it twice as I'm walking towards the front of the stage before I nod, and I don't do it in my routine. I just do it right then and there, just to get the judge's
just to kind of
attention.
set yourself apart and make their ears perk up a little bit. Because I gotta imagine that sitting there judging that has got to be at times the most monotonous thing. Everybody sounds the exact same. You got your hails, you got your feed call, and it's just like, what the fuck are we doing here?
It's nowadays with social media and YouTube and everything else, like no one wants to blow or build their own routine. So they listen to YouTube or fucking Facebook, and they get on these contests and they see who's winning. And so they start copying Trevor Shanahan or Robbie Iverson for the goose routines, or, for the duck, like Seth Fields or myself or Trevor Shanahan. And so no one is creative anymore. And so everyone gets up there and blows the same thing, start to finish, with their own sound. And so, yeah, it's like on fucking repeat. I mean, you sit back there and judge 19 guys, you may have 2 guys that are different.
Those 2 guys stand out to you, for better or worse. They stand out to you.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to be the future of these things? Because like you said, everybody just kind of becomes a carbon copy of the big dogs, and nobody's taking the time and taking their lumps, so to speak, to build a unique routine.
Well, that, and with this generation, they don't want to get their asses beat. They want the participation trophies. They want the fucking blind bags and the gun cases when they take 10th or 12th. They don't want to go home and they can't post something on Facebook that they took 4th or they took 3rd when they got their asses beat. Like, they don't want that. So therefore, when they do go to their first contest and they do get beat, it's over for them.
Right.
Like, they just don't want to continue. And so I don't know how we can make it not be a dying sport, because I don't want it to see die. I mean, I'm guiding full time for the last 20 years because of me being on stage. So yeah, if there wasn't contest calling, I would be probably working at Long John Silver's, handing shit to Jeff. Who knows?
Well, malt vinegar for that.
I mean, it's just it's tough. We started with a thing called the ICA. It's a group of us contest callers, and we're trying to change some rules for novice contestants to get them to blow in more novice contests before they get up to us. So we're hoping that improves. Teddy Hoover and Mike Benjamin, they're pretty much the backbones of it. And so I hope like hell with this, with all of us doing it, it'll increase the numbers. I do know they had a good turnout for the novice on Friday, for being on a Friday. I mean, there was, I think, like 32 in the duck or 29 in the duck for the novice, and which is unbelievable to have for, they paid $1,000, which back then, they didn't have $1,000 contests when I first started.
What all did y'all change in the novice to kind of attract more people?
So now with the ICA rules, you can blow in 5 novice contests before moving up. And I think if the other rule, and I can't remember them all, but I think if you are a novice caller and you blow in an open, and say you beat, guys like, say you beat 3 people like Trevor, Seth, and Mike Benjamin, you are no longer competing in a novice contest. Now you're just strictly opens. But for guys guys that take 3rd or 4th or 5th in an open, but win novices, they can still continue to blow in those novices, but you have to beat like 2 or 3 pro callers, quote unquote.
Right.
Is what they consist of. So it gives them more stage time to blow in these.
How long
contests.
had you been on the contest circuit before you won your big contest?
So I started in I I think it was 99. I blew in Burlington, Iowa. And it took me till 2004 to win my first one. Yeah, and I got my ass beat for fucking 2 years
but after
straight.
2 years, you started competing a little bit, making it past the first round.
2001. I took second like 2 or 3 times, and then 2004 was my first time winning.
So 20 years. That's the problem in life.
Over 20 years.
People don't want to put in the work. There's very few things you're going to just go into and win your first tournament. You know, Tiger Woods didn't win his first golf tournament. He won a whole shitload of them later after that. But you have to work and stuff. And too many people want instant gratification. There's a lot of good duck and goose callers out there that are afraid to step on stage. Now they're not at the level you guys 100%. Are. But the only way they're ever going to get to that level is to put in the work and do it.
Yeah, I got a lot of buddies that are fucking good here in Kansas that we hunt together, and they're so tied down with work that they'd rather take their time off during hunting season than burn a Friday or a Monday going to a contest. And they're all good, damn good duck callers. But for the most of them, they just don't want to go on stage and get their asses beat. That's all it takes. That's all it is. That's the main reason why contest calling is dying.
It's a different generation. And I when we first started this podcast, however many years ago, but it was kind of on its last leg then. And then COVID hit, and then I think Dive Bomb is they did a good job last year of kind of reigniting that flame for a lot of people. So I'm like you, man. I don't want to see it go anywhere. And I'm not somebody that gets up on stage, but I do enjoy it. I like seeing the best in the world go up there and show their craft and compete. And, in the third round, it's all going to come down to, whoever can squeak out the clean third round. But it's a lot of fun. And I think a lot of people,
correct,
a lot of the average Joe hunters, I think they enjoy seeing guys like you and Trevor and, Mike Benjamin and Goose and Robbie Iverson. They enjoy seeing guys like you because, you're fun to watch, you're fun to listen to, and not everybody can blow a call like you can.
I would not have the friends that I have now if it wasn't for contest calling. Some of my best friends I only see fucking 4 times a year, and that's just during the summertime. Mike Benjamin's one of them. But yeah, it's something's got to change, and like I said, I hope like hell with the ICA, maybe that'll, boost some people's confidence of, blowing in these online contests first, and then coming to these other ones and getting on stage and meeting people, like Mike Benjamin or Trevor, myself, or Seth Fields, and asking for help. And I help so many people via phone, text messaging, Zoom, shit, whatever. Like, I help a lot of people, and I know so does Mike and a lot of other guys. But if they don't get on stage, we ain't gonna have no contest anytime soon.
But you'll still take the time out to help people, because I got to tell you, you're an intimidating character at these contests. But I think it's because you're so in the zone on the day that you have to compete.
Yeah, I'll help people every day. I'm not going to help anyone. Even guys that I compete against, they'll send me routines. The guys that are, on my level that just want my opinion and want my help. I still send routines to my brother. And he's got a better ear than I do. And so I'll send my routine to him and be like, hey, what do you think? He's like, well, it's the same shit. Don't change it. Nothing's broke. You're fine.
I think there's going to be more calling contests. I think what's going to happen is I think you're going to see more of these companies do things like Dive Bomb has done and put on. It may not pay as much money, but I think you're going to see more companies start putting on some contests. Is Rogers having their contest this year?
Ooh.
No,
they fucking out in 19. The last year they had their contest was the year Jody and I won the 2-man world there.
And then COVID shut them down.
And then COVID shut them down, and then now they have like 3 American Idol fucking singers on a Saturday over there performing on stage. And I haven't walked into Rogers Sporting Goods since 2019.
I don't understand the band shit.
What do you mean?
Who goes to fucking Sporting Goods deal to go back to listen to a band? I don't. Do you, Andy?
Oh no.
I mean,
Justin Easton put on a good show Saturday night, but I mean, he's a goose caller, grounds guy, been around forever. Works his ass off Monday through Friday and performs on the weekend. So that was cool to see him there. But yeah, instead of having contests and having the baddest dudes in the country come to your store with the companies that they represent, let's have 3 idiots from the Missouri River fucking play on stage.
I would agree with you.
Like,
they might as well just get old Dan and Shay. Is that the name, guys?
That's the guy that looks like Al Pacino.
Went to a sporting goods show and went to a gay bar.
I saw those.
But yeah, I mean,
Kenny Chesney, I an Arrowhead this year.
Oh,
and they
horrible.
came with Dan. They came with Kenny, Dan, and
yeah, I thought so
that
too.
was dog shit.
I was actually contemplating jabbing fucking heroin in my arm if someone around me would have had some. It was that bad. I mean, I'm serious.
I told my wife, we've been every year that Kenny has come to Arrowhead.
Yes.
He's a fucking unbelievable performer. And, and my wife's obsessed with Kenny. I mean, we got the banners and flags hanging in our garages and shit. But when those 2 jackasses got on stage, I could tell one looked like he played for 9 Inch Nails, and the other one looked like he was
Exactly.
a Backstreet Boy.
The fat one carried the guy with the hair.
And I didn't know Yeah, I don't know any of their shit. And the only cool part about their performance was how he called his grandpa out, and his grandpa was there watching him perform. And this was like the biggest stages they played on. And you could tell their emotions. Like, you could tell that they were 100% humble about where they were at. But other than that, their songs
I had never heard of them.
Horrible.
First, Old Dominion came on, and they were good. I knew some of their music, but I don't listen to anything on the radio. I came to watch fucking Kenny Chesney. When I go see Jimmy Buffett, I want to hear Jimmy Buffett, and he sings the whole time. So I thought Kenny was going to be that way. Well, fuck, I didn't know he was going to have a
Jimmy doesn't have an opener?
No, he don't need one, and Kenny don't need one either. But anyways, when this Dan and Shay guy come on, I'm thinking, who the fuck are these? Are we at a fucking Pop Weasel concert here? And then they started singing and shit, and I was like, fuck. And it seemed like they sang for 3 fucking hours, and then they were like, well, we're halfway through our set. Then he pulled the same shit about the biggest venue, his mom, his grandpa and shit. I think that's all part of his plan. I think it's just a wrestling deal right there. It's all pre-scripted. And then when they got off, Kenny came on, and I was like, fuck, thank God, take down the rainbow flags and let's play music now.
The best fucking part was the weather. Like, it was not fucking hot at all.
When was that? What month was that?
That was
like
cool July 2nd.
Fuck.
It was like, because we had a storm come in, and it fucking got cloudy, and the temperatures dropped, and it was like 72 degrees the whole time. I mean, we were drinking in the parking lot tailgating, and I didn't look like I looked like on Saturday. I can tell you that much.
We saw him in Jerry's World, and it was air conditioned. It was nice. But Kenny puts on a hell of a show. The hardest working guy in entertainment, probably, but he can skip on Dan and Shay. Fuck.
Performer.
Oh, he does.
He
I'm
is
going to leave them in the background now.
Why?
They're rocking and rolling with him now, Jeff.
No.
They've won like 6 Grammys, and I never even heard of the fuckers. I was on the phone looking them up. I thought, how many songs? He's got new guys here. It's like 6 Grammys, been around since 1944. I'm like, fuck. They got all kinds of music. Yeah.
Who are we watching?
So have you heard any reports up in Canada? How are things looking up there?
I know where we're at. It's
wet.
Like, it looks good. Yeah. The ponds, most of the pond, and this is my first year over there. The ponds that the guy that worked with, he said they're plumb full. They got those wet late spring snow showers, the giant ass wet snowflakes that helped a ton. As far as the hatch, I haven't kept up with that in a few weeks, but I just know the numbers in the water and the potholes in the North Dakota and South Dakota and Saskatchewan are 1,000 times fucking better than they had in the past.
What was the best year that you were? How long have you been going into Canada?
First year I went up there was in 2004.
What was
my dad took us
and
up
you've been
there.
going every year. What was the best year that you can remember? Not every year.
Not every year. No. In 2017 or 2018, 2017-18 was an unbelievable fucking season.
Mm-hmm.
and I was in Alberta, up north, Wainwright area-ish. That year was ridiculous. Like, and they got a lot of water over there. Southern Alberta's drier than fuck. They've been taking an ass whooping, unfortunately, down there. But like where I was at the North Camp in Alberta now, I mean, there's unbelievable good amounts of water. And, I still talk to some of the farmers over there, and they said all the same thing. It's like, dude, we've had water in these ponds that we haven't had in 2.5 years. I mean, it's just what we needed. I mean, but the crazy thing is with, not the water, but bringing the birds back. Like it was just something I don't get.
Yeah. So what's that gonna? So you can't bring anything. You can't bring anything back, right?
There's gonna be some wanton waste
because I guess they're clean. They're healthier when they get to the States.
They fly over that
apparently, when they fly over Canada,
all of a sudden healthier. So no mount birds, no nothing.
We can't bird hitch them. Like we can't bird hitch birds. We still clean them and we, donate them to families and farmers and stuff like that. But as far as the U.S. bringing it in, no. And most of our clients.
Yeah, I feel sorry for the Canadian people though.
They're making it.
Who the fuck wants to eat goose all the time?
Well, you giving them up to the people?
Yeah.
People love it up there, Jeff.
If some bitch come to my house and brung me 300 Canada geese, I'd kick him right in his balls.
You're not hunting my shit ever again.
Fuck that. No, you want to shoot them fuckers? You take them with you back to Detroit.
Right.
I don't want them damn things. There's no way. And that's another dumbass rule. What's worrying me, or not me worried, but there's got to be a concern that once you get to Nebraska and western part of the Dakotas, fucking corn ain't making it nowhere. Don't sound like it. Sounds like from Nebraska, western Kansas, Nebraska, the Texas, their crops, there ain't gonna be a lot of corn.
Our corn will fucking
That's
burn
what everybody
out
is
at the end
saying.
of
So
this week.
Kansas, Nebraska,
like it's if I don't, I mean, I'll be shocked if these guys don't start cutting corn into this month or end of August. I mean, I keep thinking it's August, but I mean, it is bad right now.
We talked to Blake yesterday, and he said it's pretty much too late now. Like even if we got a rain, like he said, shit's turning brown instead of blue. I don't know what the fuck that means, but
oh yeah, fuck, you need 10 inches just to wet the ground for longer in the day.
What's the main crop that you hunt up in Canada? Is it barley, peas?
Peas, yeah.
The year that 2018 for us was really good. That was the year that we flooded here.
yes.
And we shot the fuck out of the ducks that year. So evidently they had a pretty good hatch. And the last couple of years it's been pretty dry, so we hadn't seen any ducks. But now it's fucking hot and dry, so even better.
You get a lot of ducks down there?
On wet years, yeah. Like
on
in 2018, that year it flooded, and all of our fields had sheet water in it. And
We shot ducks all year.
We hunt peanuts here, and let me tell you, it is like crack for ducks. Flooded peanut fields, and it hit at the right time that a lot of the farmers had turned them, but there were like sections of the field that had so much water in it they couldn't harvest it, so they had to kind of go around it. But yeah, there was a lot of food in the fields that year.
Fuck, we shot a couple of days. We shot 40 green-winged teal in the fields.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, just crazy shit. I mean, field duck shooting green wings and big flocks of them. And it was a good duck year, and we need that. But our season can change water-wise. Typically, our wet season is September and October.
Yeah.
And we can have big thunderstorms in September
really?
and October and fill everything up. I've seen us be dry November 1st, and on Thanksgiving get 7 or 8 inches of rain one night, and all the playas are completely full again. And, yeah,
that's how it is here. I mean, normally, with like Cheyenne Bottoms being in central Kansas, Great Bend, they're fucking stupid dry right now. Bad dry. Quivira, same way. But typically when we get that dry, normally around the first week of August, when Rogers Sporting Goods would have their show and contest, we would get fucking dumped on that whole time period. The weather, the temperatures would drop. It'd be nice as shit, for a contest outside. And then we'd get an assload of rain. Everything would, shoot back up, fill up, and then we got a teal season in September. Now the guys out there, they don't think they're going to have a teal season from the people I've talked to in Cheyenne Bottoms.
Yeah, right
area.
now, if we had teal hunts,
it
we'd
is.
be in big trouble unless something happens.
But I just want to know where these birds are going to go. Are they going to go east, west, hop, skip, can't. I mean, where the fuck they
I
got
don't know.
The food is going to play a huge factor in this, and I don't think people understand this. But if you have no corn, it's not like you're going to just corn's going to pop up in October. If it ain't making, if the corn's not making in
Correct.
October in Nebraska, in Kansas, in western Oklahoma and stuff, there's going to be a lot of birds are going to find somewhere else to have to go because they got to eat. Now, winter wheat is going to play a big factor in places like in Oklahoma where they'll go in and plant wheat.
But if it's dry,
But if it's dry and they don't plant wheat, all these dry land farms, it's going to be an interesting year because most of your irrigated stuff is gonna make still. It won't be as good of yields, but there are a lot of dry land farms and places that hold a lot of birds that this year are not going to have any birds unless something dramatic. I've seen it change pretty fast, and they keep saying we're supposed to have a cold, wet winter. But they say that every year, and they've been wrong for 27 straight years.
Yeah. Fucking Christmas Day last year was
Every
74
swinging
degrees.
dick in Texas that had a pool had kids, pictures of them getting in the fucking swimming pool. I wasn't about to clean my pool just to take a fucking picture. So that wasn't going to happen. Now, if I could have photoshopped a picture like the check yesterday, I would have done that shit. But I also would have photoshopped some abs on me or something so I'd look good.
Doing a
Yeah,
fucking
that's exactly
backflip
right.
off a high dive.
So how long are you going to be in Canada for? You leave August 26th, and then what? 2 months?
I'm gonna go up and see my buddy in Minot, and then I'll cross. We start on the 4th, I think, 3rd or the 4th of September, and then I'll be home about the 1st or 2nd
That's
of
not
November.
terrible. But like,
No, and then go from there and go to Easton, Maryland for their
but you,
world
like you said
contest.
though, like you can make a living by guiding and just winning contests. It's afforded you that right. Not a lot of people can do that.
Yeah, I mean, I've been pretty fortunate. My wife puts up with a lot of
Well, I
shit.
live that life too.
I mean, she puts up with a lot of shit. And yeah, I mean, contest calling led to guiding, and I haven't had a real job
But
fucking forever.
you know, you're gone a lot, but then you're also home a lot. So you can make up for that time that you're away.
Yeah, I mean, all of turkey season I guide here. I coach 2 baseball teams. My sons, I help their team out, and then we coach a high school competitive team. And so, yeah, I'm all their summer, I'm home, and my wife works from home. And so every day, we're going to the zoo or going on vacations on the weekends and the city pool or whatever, I'm with them the whole time. But yeah, I mean, I am gone, but I'm home an assload as well.
It's all about perspective because, then you got the guy that's home every night, but he's not really home. He's bringing his work home with him. Like, just like us, like when I'm home with my kids, I can devote 100% of my time to them rather than, oh shit, I got to do this. And,
Yep.
Now with podcasts there's nights, but I'm home with them a lot and we have dinner and, that makes up for the time that, that's out here where I'm, 3:30 in the morning to 8:30 or 9 o'clock at night. But when I'm home with them, I'm home with them. And when I'm working, I'm working. No, 10 minutes.
Do you live far from the
It's
lodge?
10 minutes to town for Jeff and I. So it's not bad.
See, that's like, it's 12 minutes from my doorstep. I do morning hunts only, and they're done at lunch. I turn around and come home, see you in the morning. Sometimes I'll eat dinner with them at night at the lodge, but typically, when I get done, I go home.
And when we do everything out here, lodging, meals, and all that. But the kids are out here for 5 or 6 nights for dinner, so I see them then, and then they're busting Jeff's balls in his office, and it's a family business.
Yeah, I see my grandkids from in September to January as much as some men do that live with their children.
Yeah,
I mean, other than sleeping time, I mean, I see them. Jameson's not in school yet, so he's here at lunch. I see them both at dinner every night, so they're here for a couple hours every night. And I see them more during hunting season than I do off season, and they come to the house all the time. But I mean, it's a cool deal, and you're very blessed to get to have the life we have. We all are very blessed to live the lives we have. When I saw them poor fuckers walking around at Squadfest that are traveling 8 miles just to get to go around their hobby and stuff, I thought, man, we are so lucky to get to do what we do, because most of those people would give anything to have our lives.
Yeah.
Me personally, I would like to be Lee Chose, but that's just me.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that would not suck. Somebody asked me, I mean, you guys have been doing it a lot longer than I have, but, so many people ask me, they're just like, God, you are truly living the dream. Like, you're living the dream. I'm like, man, for us hunters, yeah, I mean, it's cool as shit to wake up in the morning and go hunting every day. Whether, I mean, yeah, it sucks that you got to put up with Mother Nature, if it's fucking raining or if it's stupid ass cold outside. I mean, you still got to go. But, for me, I love just being around the people that I hunt with every day. Obviously, make sure everything's safe. But to see what we see, dude, I wouldn't change it for a fucking thing. I mean,
No,
I would
I
not.
wouldn't either.
I love it.
And, it's a job. There's days that it's a job, and then there's days where you kind of question your sanity. But it beats sitting in a cubicle because there's so many people, especially now and shit now with COVID, they don't even leave their house. They don't even get out of their pajamas most days because they're all working from home. But, and that's why I think we're seeing what we're seeing socially is there's so many people that are unhappy with where they are in life and they don't see a way out. They never had a passion. They never had anybody take time out of their life. They might have played kid baseball or something like that, but they never had something that truly ignited their fire. And then they started having to pay bills and then, they get married and they have some kids and then they've got to pay for a mortgage and then they got to pay for health insurance and they get on this rat race of a wheel that they can't get off of and they're miserable with their life. So when you see guys like us that are able, I mean, you go to fucking Canada. I mean, you go there for 2 months out of the year and then you turkey hunt. And I mean, you see things and you meet people and, you contest call in the summertime and you truly enjoy what you do. But there's so many people in this world that wake up at 7:30 and they're like, fuck, it's another day. And then we wonder why they go crazy.
The hunting business is a great fraternity. I saw where Alex at Pacific Calls, little boy wanted to learn, walked up to him and they gave him a duck call.
Right.
Kid saves up his money, works, and they give him a call.
Yeah.
That's a great deal. The hunting community is, I've been to so many hunting shows where they pray or they do that national anthem before. People love America. They love what we do. They believe in God. They believe in family. I mean, have we yet to see a transgender goose caller yet?
Trevor.
Well, with Shanahan, he's metrosexual, but I don't know he's transgender.
With his outfit, I mean, fuck, it was close on Friday.
But you just don't see. I mean, it is a great place to. If you want to take your kids and get them involved with something where people respect each other, well, not, most of the times respect each other. Go get them involved with hunting and fishing. It's a good place to be 100%. Around good people. And I have there's been yet to be a school shooter that was from a kid that hunts and was around guns growing up.
Yeah, correct.
It's always that weirdo.
I mean, no fuck.
So how was your turkey season?
It honestly didn't even feel like a turkey season. I love turkey hunting more than anything. I love turkey hunting more than duck hunting, more than speck hunting, whatever. But opening day, it snowed. The youth season, we took out father, son, and daughter. It was 21 degrees that morning.
Ooh.
It was in the 50s and 60s for like 10 days, and then it shot up to 97 the next day. 50 to 60 mile an hour winds on average. And it was just, I mean, some days, you couldn't do no wrong. But this was our worst season as far as like people not tagging out than I've had in the 7 years that I've been with them.
Are they going to lower the limit where you are? Have you heard about anything like that?
You can shoot one.
You can only shoot one where you are?
You go west of here, I don't even know where the fucking line is. But you can shoot two out west.
Okay.
Our side of the state, eastern side, I'm closer to the Missouri border than I am fucking Manhattan.
Right.
We can only shoot one over here.
Can't lower it anything.
They've been talking about doing stupid shit, not stupid shit that I truly believe we need to do, whether it's like Missouri and have a 1 o'clock cutoff. Mm-hmm. Missouri, you can only shoot till 1. I feel like we need that. Our season is 2 fucking months long.
Right.
60 freaking days. That's a lot of days for turkey hunting.
Yeah.
Make it a 45-day season and just 1 o'clock cutoff, and people will start seeing more birds down the road. Right now, yeah, our numbers in some areas aren't like they used to be, where, you drive around and see fucking 20 or 30 toms in a whole day of driving. Mm-hmm. Now you'll see maybe 10 in a whole day of driving.
I still think something. I still think there's been an insecticide or a herbicide or something that killed birds. There's something that's not adding up.
It's not healthy. I can tell you that. I mean, there's places, you go back and the farms that we've had where there'd be 10 or 12, and now you're lucky to kill one. Mm-hmm. And we don't kill every bird on every farm. Like, if we take 2 off of one farm, that farm's done for the year.
Right.
That's it. Like, we'll just let it sit, and if he wants to take the owner takes his daughter, or we take one of the baseball kids and let them go shoot one. That's fine, whatever. But, people say, the predators, which we have a fuckload of coons, an assload of coyotes. Yeah, they do a number on them, but something took a lot of them away in a short period of time.
Yeah, like in 2 years' time.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Oklahoma went to 1. I think statewide.
I mean, it makes sense. Texas is probably. I wouldn't be shocked. So we can shoot 4 here. I wouldn't be shocked if we went to like 2. I mean, and it's so weird because nobody in our area really turkey hunts, but it was a horrible season. Horrible season.
Rattlesnake.
Dude.
Yeah, rattlesnakes down.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, only from 6 inches to 6 foot.
We killed one. Stoner killed it. November. I just looked at that the other day. It was like November 15th or some bullshit like that. In the parking lot.
While hunting?
No, it was in the parking lot here. We had lunch and somebody went outside. I think we were doing steak or we had grill night. Somebody went to put wood in the fire pit and it was just right there in the road. Middle of November. That should not be happening.
I would quit whatever operation I'd be working for and go the fuck back up here.
Y'all have rattlesnakes up there though, don't you?
We have cottonmouths and copperheads.
Copperheads are worse than rattlesnakes.
Copperheads scare me.
Yeah, see them.
You can see them?
Or no, them copperheads will blend in those leaves and those fucking rocks so bad.
Rattlesnakes don't rattle like they used to 30 years ago.
They say the pigs are eating them.
Oh, really?
They say the pigs have eaten so many of them that when they rattle, it's just a dinner bell. So they've gotten to where they're evolving to where they don't rattle like they used to. Now, that's what the old timers say.
Yeah, but they don't rattle. When I was a kid, if you seen a rattlesnake, they would rattle. I mean, you could be way off and you'd hear them. You very seldom. You got to touch them almost sometimes and fuck with them to get them to rattle.
I think one of our old places I turkey hunted at, and I had 2 hunting one day. I had my back up against a tree. I had my decoys and shit behind me. I didn't put them out, and I just set them on the other side of the tree from me. Anyway, stand up, didn't get a bird. Stood up, turned around to get my bag, and on the other side of that bag, there was one coiled up. And I'm like, ooh, fuck. So that scared me. And then, I went back to the same spot. It was a good spot. And I was like, well, I'm not going to hunt at that tree because I saw a snake there a week ago. So I stopped like 50 yards short of where I'd seen it prior, and I sit down, and on the tree next to me, I hear like a rustling, and here he comes. It was a different snake slithering out of the bush. So that was the last time I hunted that place.
Is this the place that had the witch on it?
No. But yeah, there had to have been like a den or something there. I just...
Would you be more scared of a snake or a witch?
Oh, snakes.
Now listen to this story.
Witches are fake.
Listen to this.
So there was this place that we had, and it was an old amusement park. So it was creepy to begin with. Like, you got this Friday the 13th kind of vibe every time you drove through there. And you can bait here. You can bait. So what we do a lot of times is before season starts, we'll just drive through and dump corn out on the roads. And there was a lady there. on the very back, like their river is the northern property.
There's no
line.
roads on this place. I mean, you're off the beaten path by miles.
So anyway, what I figure she did is she just walked the river, but and came up. But I asked her, like, you know, it's just me and her. There's no road. There's no public road that goes through there. And I was like, is everything all right? And she's like, oh, I'm just cleansing the land. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking?
Oh, she said?
Yeah, that's what she said. That was her answer. And I said, excuse me? She said, I'm cleansing the land. And like she had all of her shit laid out. I can't remember what all it was. I'm sure it was like sage and all that
Bundles
shit.
of shit.
And I was like, well, you know, like this is private property and I really don't know what you're doing here. And she was just really, really weird. And this is a small community. There's only 1,200 people live in town.
And who the fuck leaves an old lady out in the woods by herself? Andy did.
Andy Shaver left that old bitch. I turned around so fucking quick. Like I couldn't go past her because like I backed that fucking pickup out of there so fast. I'm surprised that I didn't knock her over with all the dirt I threw on her as soon as I pulled out of that bitch.
He would not hardly go to that place by himself after that.
And it was great turkey hunting. Great fucking turkey hunting. And now I got to deal with this fucking witch lady that's coming up from the river.
So that bothers me more than rattlesnakes do.
Yeah, that's kind of odd. That's like walking into the woods and like sometimes we had this one place that I turkey hunted and my two buddies that I work with now in Canada, they came out and hunted with me this spring. And we're in the middle of fucking nowhere in these woods on public ground. I mean, 3.5 miles in. And it's just nothing but just up and down ridges and shelves and creek bottoms. And we had this bird that came in from behind us. I wanted to cross the creek before he pitched down. We should have just fucking stayed on the other side. Anyways, the hunt got fuckered. He stood behind us and left. Well, we crossed the creek back up. And the tree that he was standing next to strutting, the son of a bitch had 9 skull heads.
Ooh.
Like either ones that you buy or just like small human heads.
Fuck that.
In front of the tree with this cross that had a bunch of Bitcoin logos on it. And then they fucking, this is no shit. And then there was like, you know what, you clip, like those potato chip clippers that you clip bags, you know, there was shit hanging off fishing lines in front of it with Mexican candles.
No way.
With the logos on the front, so the crosses and shit.
Mm-mm.
I looked at Mitch and I was like, dude, fuck this. We're out. Like, this is too fresh for them to be in the middle of fucking nowhere to have this right next to where this Tom was strutting.
Yeah,
I can't handle that shit.
I knew no boy down in South Texas that had trouble with their neighbor that was fucking hunting. Set up. He put his blind, even tied his box blind to their fucking fence, like with guide wires and shit on it. He was hunting their fence line. Yeah. And the motherfucker said, "We'll get rid of his ass." And they couldn't very do. So what they did was they put a mannequin up when he was in his blind, and they put it back like towards their fence line. It's like, "Hey, motherfucker!" And they shot this fucking mannequin, and it fell over. Oh. And they said that motherfucker moved his fucking blind that same day. Got his shit and got the fuck up and moved on. So
this place where this lady was, so like I said, it was an amusement park back in the 50s, and that's when 2
people died there too.
Yeah, so that's been back. Segregation was still going on. So there was a black pond, a Mexican pond, and a white pond, and come to find out, like a white kid died and a black kid drowned in those ponds back in the day. So I don't know if this lady heard about it. I don't know if she got if she grew up here and had gone there and found and heard about it and like walked in from because the bridge is maybe a mile and a half, and at that time the river was not running, so you could access it that way. And I didn't see if she had like a fucking 4-wheeler on because here in Texas the river bottoms are public land, so you can drive 4-wheelers up and down it if you can. So I didn't stick around. I didn't ask.
Can't drive 4-wheelers.
You
got to walk.
You
can't
have to
use
walk?
motorized vehicles.
Not anymore.
Yeah, you can't do that no more.
Anyway, I don't know how she got there. I don't know if she had some sort of transportation on the river that I didn't see, but yeah, she was there.
Do you think she's real, or do you think she was a ghost or some shit?
I saw her.
I think she's a real, yeah.
I mean, I saw her.
I've
never seen anything else. I don't see ghosts every corner that I turn.
We hunted on a ranch across the river from the lodge that had a bunch of fucking kids' toys. Just an abundant amount of motor.
See, that's what's crazy.
Just middle of nowhere. Fucking dolls and shit and Remember all those motorized vehicles and crap?
I don't remember that.
Right where you turkey hunted across the river, you went down the bottom, a bunch of them, like old, like electric scooter cars and shit. Just middle of nowhere, and you're like, what the fuck is that doing here? I've always said, if you want to creep some bitch out that's in your fucking duck blind or close, get a sound of kids playing in a merry-go-round or a carnival, and just play that at dark.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers will leave. I'm telling you, anytime you're having trouble on public land, go an hour before dark when them fuckers are camped out and start playing the music of kids playing on a playground. That should be the end of it. It'll be done.
And I had to walk past that every time because I'd park at the amusement park entrance. They had putt-putt. They had putt-putt greens. They had merry-go-rounds. They had shit that you'd fly into the pond on. They had a bucking bull. So like when you walk down, because there's a big wheat field that's at the bottom, and then there's trees where the turkey would roost. I'd have to walk right through this fucking old ass amusement park, and I'd have to see. There's times that the wind would pick up, and then that little merry-go-round would just kind of, or the swing would creak, and it's like, oh Jesus, there better be a fucking turkey here. But yeah, if you're ever having problems on public land, just put out some old dolls and shit. That'll clear that.
And play
out.
the music. And someone's going to do that to somebody this year. They're going to get them a recording of a bunch of kids on and a little merry-go, like a snow cone sound. You know, dee 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 dee.
Yeah. Oh, like the ice cream truck.
Oh, that'd fuck you up big time.
Yeah, that's no good. I'm a big time no go on all that shit.
That's what we need this fall. We need the creepy clowns to come back that was being seen in all these towns and shit.
Fuck that.
Adds a little bit of attention. Well, Cory, we appreciate you being on here, man. You've been a really good, fun guest, and we'll get you on again this fall.
Carried on an hour now.
Yeah. I appreciate it, man.
Carried on an hour now. Doesn't feel like it.
Guys.
It's been
an hour?
Yeah, it's been an hour. Flown by.
Jesus.
That's when it's a good podcast. When I look at that fucking clock and it's at 15 minutes, I'm like, oh, this is fucking dragging ass right here.
No. So what are your so you'll get back first part of November, you'll head up to Easton, you're going to compete in that this year.
Yep.
What
and then
is it 3?
That'll be it for contest.
3 and done? If you win 3 of those, you're retired.
Yeah, I think it's for the 2-man as well. So yeah, you can the World Goose, the World Live Goose, the World Live Duck, and the teams. And then now this year will be the first year they'll have the which I think they're having it. They're going to have a meat contest there as well. This year will be the first year they have it.
Well,
so it's 3 and done. You win 3, like Trevor. I think Trevor's done with Team Goose. He still needs 1 for the Goose. And then Mike Benjamin hasn't won a single World Goose, which is shocking as hell, but he's won every damn thing else out there, but besides the world one.
Do you think that they should force guys into retirement after 3?
So the 3 and out, when the 3 and out rule was big back in the day for the duck. Like if you won the Kansas State 3 times, you're done. Mm-hmm. Or if you won the regional 3 times, you're done. But here's the thing. If you want to eliminate the people and say, okay, you won this contest 3 times in a row or 3 times, whatever, you're done. Okay, so now you just are going to give the guy that's been taken 2nd or 3rd a better chance instead of beating the best one there.
Right.
Like, not going to improve. You're just fucking giving it to someone. Like when they used to do it for the states for Stuttgart. You know, there'd be guys like the Idaho State would have a guy that won it 3 times, and the dude that went 1 year because he took 2nd every year, and then he showed up and he did a horrible job on stage. And so, like, literally, like, you don't have your best caller there to represent your state. Like, it's stupid to have that rule.
Yeah.
I wish they'd open up World Goose and let Robbie Iverson and Hunter Grounds go back and compete with everybody.
Yeah,
let him just.
I mean, that's kind of what I think, because then it doesn't make sense when a guy like Hunter that won. I believe he won 3 times in a row, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, maybe there was a gap year.
No, he didn't win it 3 times in a row. He won it 3 times in a short period of time. The only thing that Robbie lacks, or not Robbie, Hunter lacks, is the champion of champions.
So he could still compete then on stage.
Oh, he could blow on the champions. He was going to go this past year because, with COVID and fucking everything else. But, yeah, he didn't show up. He had his best was not doing the greatest, and he was not leaving his dog there, and not being around him. So he didn't come. But yeah, he could blow in the champions in 2 years.
Right. But I just,
So
making these guys shut down in their prime, I don't think it does anybody any favors.
Oh, absolutely. No, fuck no. Because now, I mean, if you advertised a goose calling contest in Easton, Maryland, and said you're going to have guys like Robbie Iverson, Hunter Grounds, Trevor Shanahan, Kyle Jones, and all these other Wade Wallen or whoever come back and compete, fuck. Everyone that knows those people in those contests, they will come. I'm going to take them to the pool. No. But yeah, that's just the 3-and-out rule. It's just a shitty thing to do. Most of them now don't have it, with an exception of Easton. But it is what it is. I mean,
that's why I like contests like Dive Bomb and when Rogers had a big payout. Like, you're getting the best. You attract the best that are doing it.
Oh yeah, I told guys back then, when I first started, there'd be 60 guys for a $500 contest. There was the Goose contest in Easton, and I think like maybe the Winchester for the Goose was like the biggest payouts outside of Stuttgart. Very seldom did you see, 10 contests out of 15 offering $1,000 a piece. It was all 500, 750, and then it started offering 1,000. And then once the payouts were getting big, the participation was lacking. It was weird. Like, it was just out of nowhere. They just stopped, the people just got out of it, or they, like we said earlier, they just didn't want to practice and get better. So it's just been the same core group of guys every contest you go to.
Not to inflate Trevor's ego any more than it probably needs to be, but when you look at a guy like Trevor that can put up a second place performance in duck, and what was he, third in goose?
I think, third or fourth. I think. Third?
Yeah, he got third.
Has there ever been, and I know Mike Benjamin did really well in the duck, so
he might have got second, and I don't want to call him out for he was
no,
the top
I think
three.
It was Benjamin, Iverson,
Trevor
and then I think Trevor.
Second because Robbie Iverson took second.
I think he got third. I think he got third. Yeah. But I mean, you look at him and Benjamin, and like, have there ever been anybody that was this dual threat?
For him to be so good on both, like Robbie Iverson has every capability to be that good on a duck call. My opinion, Robbie's the baddest dude on a use call. Trevor's a freak, but Trevor's the best to do both, in my opinion. Like, he's just a talented son of a bitch, and he's just fucking good.
And if you
like, that's all you.
And if you believe what he says, there's very little practice that goes into it ahead of this. And I believe what he says.
To an extent.
Okay.
With him building those calls the whole time, like, I feel, just to blow his routine with just build his air up was practicing.
Right.
Yeah, he may be blowing routines, but he was still blowing the call. I mean, I started practicing a week ago, and I realized I didn't have fucking air, so I just started blowing into a balloon.
Really?
Just to build my air up. Yeah, because I had no air. Because last time I touched a call was April 3rd down there at that Ducks deal in Texas.
Yeah, and you had that much time off, but a week out is all it took for you to get back in shape.
A week before I started sending routines, Monday before I left. I left on Thursday, so 4 or 5 days of me practicing and blowing in the balloon and sending Jody, my brother, like 2 or 3 routines a day.
But what is? I mean, is there anything did anything change from ducks to last weekend in your routine?
As far as my routine?
Yes, sir.
No, my routine stays the same. My routine's been the same since like fucking 2012.
So when you send it to your brother, are you just asking him like, hey, you got fresh ears. Am I where I need to be?
Yeah, I'm just asking him like, does it still flow? Do I, should I try something different or, I sent him a new routine the other day, and that's when he was like, this is not your routine. It's not broke. Don't fucking fix it.
Right.
Like, go back to the same old routine. It's been working for fucking however long, and just stick with that.
Right.
So I said, all right, fuck it. He told me that, so I eliminated that routine that I sent him, and I just went back to my old one.
Forward. So, I mean, in a way, you've got once you build up your air, it's just muscle memory at that time.
Yeah. my air is my weakness, because if I don't blow a duck call for a long time, my air goes to shit.
Right.
And so trying to do the shit that I do in my routine and the long strains of, not taking a breath, it sucks and it kills my flow of it. So that's why I continue to blow in the balloon, and I can go from there.
Well, very good. All right, my man. It sounds like you got a pool to take your kids to. So we appreciate your time. We've gone over an hour now. Congratulations on the win. Congratulations on the 5K.
I just put on Facebook, I just put a picture up with of you and the deal, and I put Cory Niccum with us today talking about winning Squadfest, calling contest, creepy kids, toys, and rattlesnakes. Great episode and a great guy. Poor guy is a sore back from having to carry Trevor Shanahan Friday. And fucking Trevor just locked on it.
Trevor's already seen it. Hey, the one thing I was supposed to ask you, what about the piss missiles with Zach and the guys at Boss at Top Golf?
Okay. That son of a bitch stole money from me. And I was shit plowed, and I went to take a piss, and I come back, and he was like, hey, let's do one shot apiece on the tee box right now. I said, okay, fine, dude. And I had a baseball swing. I played baseball through college. I could hit the son of a bitch 320 yards to the left and 10 yards straight. Uh-huh. Zach gets up there and just fucking piss missiles one up the dead center. And I looked at him, and Lee goes, that's the fastest $20 you've ever fucking lost. And I said, what the hell? He goes, no one knew that I didn't know that he could swing a golf club. Everyone was there watching. My best friend was there watching him hit it before I got done taking a piss.
Oh, and he didn't tell you, like, hey,
you couldn't tell me?
This guy's a
no
ringer.
one told me until after I made a fool of myself.
Zach's a big boy, too.
He is. He's got a lot of inertia.
100%.
Looks like a fucking NFL tight end.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zach's a large man.
He's a good dude.
Now, can Lee sing a?
I appreciate it.
Can Lee swing a golf club?
No,
I would say no.
I didn't think so.
He can take pictures, Jeff. Not everybody can do everything.
Well, Cory, you have
Lee does not.
You have a great day with your family. God bless you, bud, and congratulations on your win, man.
Good luck up up in Canada, and maybe down the road we can share a blind together.
100%, man.
All right.
You guys be good.
All right,
thank you, sir.
See ya. Bye.
Later, guys.
Cory Niccum, fun guy. That was great episode.
He's a lot of fun.
Really enjoyed him.
5K.
I didn't know about the Top Golf deal.
In the pocket, yeah. Whenever we were setting all this up, Zach was like, he came to me and he's like, hey, you got to do me a favor. Like, he's still sore about this. Ask him about the piss missiles. I was like, what the fuck is a piss missile? He's like, he thought he'd take me for some money at Top Golf. I had not heard this version of the story. The way Zach phrased it is that Cory is the one that instigated the bet. The way it sounds with Zach is that Zach is a ringer and Cory went and took a leak, and Cory didn't realize Zach's capabilities. So
Zach looks like a guy can hit a fucking golf ball too.
I guess. I don't know. I mean,
would you have bet your money against him?
Fuck, I can't golf.
No shit. All right.
Why would I bet him?
Yeah, sometimes
I'm not betting any. I'm not going to bet my wife at who can hit a golf ball further. Much less Zach, 6'5", 6'4".
Oh, you wouldn't bet against Jesse?
No, I would not. Yeah, if Jesse, if we were at Top Golf and me and my wife, and she said, "Hey, $20 for this drive," no fucking way I'm taking that bet. I'm just going to pray that I hit it square.
Go, everybody. Before we get off here, go to StanfieldHuntingOutfitters.com. Go to shop. Or store, shop or store, I can't remember which one. And the first family of waterfowl shirts are up. We got other merchandise for sale. Thank y'all so much for listening to the first family of waterfowl. It was a huge hit and big success for us. We appreciate it. We got 3 more episodes coming out on that. God bless you and have a great week.
The second one will be out today.
Second episode will be?
Second episode will be out today. So when you're listening to this, go check it out. It'll be up on YouTube, 7 o'clock. We appreciate everybody tuning in.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Check out all of our great sponsors. Go check out Double T British Kennels, Ducks Unlimited, Dirty Duck Coffee, Stanfield Hunting Outfitters, Bangtail Whiskey, Alpha Outdoors Specialties, Looking Glass Duck Club Podcast, Lucky Duck, Shin Gear Waders, Gundog Outdoors, Pacific Calls, Dive Bomb Industries, and those great guys over at Boss Shot Shows.